Hi, Sagittarius. Check out this sun. I wanted to do your reading before the full moon. I just didn't realize how much I had to process during that full moon. Couldn't really do anything that day or that evening. I don't know about you guys, but it was really intense. It changed a lot for me, just in terms of, okay, that's not going to happen right now. Put those aside. It changed a lot for me in terms of what I was willing to process and look at. Things that had been hidden for a while, I guess. Didn't even know they were hidden. Ways that I just didn't want to be anymore. People I just didn't want to ever deal with again. Knight of Wands. I can't even say it was sudden. It's just my heart changed. And it got me thinking. Mutable fire. The end of fire. Right? We have the beginning of fire. Aries starts the year, starts the seasons. We have fixed fire. We'll go into that in a month or so with Leo, where the sun just stands there in the sky. And then we have the end of fire, the Sagittarian, lighting that far away next fire. 9 of Swords in reverse. So Knight of Wands, 9 of Swords in reverse. Bottom of the deck is the World card. We'll take that. It is the fire that must be carried over into the next season, so Aries has it again. The Sagittarian is the one that keeps the fire lit through the dark when it should go out. There is a Promethean sense to Sagittarius. We've talked about this before. The one who brings the fire to the humans during the winter when they're starving and dying. So Knight of Wands, you guys showing up as very much yourselves, youthful, and yet the 9 of Swords right there behind you. 3 of Pentacles. It's an interesting 3 cards together. So you seem fine, but behind the scenes, things are more than just falling apart. Things are being liquefied and remade in a much better mold. Now, whether you like this mold or whether you are just in it for the popularity, I'm not sure yet. I think anything is better than the 9 of Swords, though, so let's go with it. Underneath the 6 of Wands is the 7 of Cups. And underneath that is the 3 of Cups. You know, I think you're afraid of something that isn't really there. I think you're confused. But most of the cards are so positive. I'm having a hard time even reading the 3 of Cups in a negative way. 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, looks like celebration and money to me. You may feel a little antsy about all the good stuff, but I don't think that's a reason to pull yourself into some sort of, weird talk yourself out of your blessings phase. The World card here, Major Arcana, just telling you that it's open, the buffet is open, it's your time. We've been talking about it for a while. Go to it, Sag. But the 9 of Swords there, in reverse, persistent. So Knight of Wands and the World card flanking this the overthinking. Temperance. Another card I like to associate with you guys, along with the Magician. The duality of most signs is apparent, as it is with you, half man, half horse. But it's really, I feel like the duality of you guys is the mind, and then where the mind is able to go. Mutable fire. Temperance is now about balancing out all this good luck and your 9 of Swords in reverse feelings about it, your 7 of Cups confusion about it. Wait, do things actually get to work out? Yeah, in a lot of ways, you've got good stuff coming up work-wise. Don't get involved in any intrigue. Like, if people are gossiping, stay away. You guys aren't into that stuff anyway, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. Let's see. If you're already partnered, you may be having paranoid thoughts about that person for no reason. Like, there's nothing going on. It may seem, you may end up in some weird situations where it seems like something is going on, but there isn't anything going on. That person who's with you right now seems pretty solid. And if you're not with someone, the 6 of Wands in the center of the reading like this, it's, you know, it's great. Look at it. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. Can you see it okay? It's great. Aside from the anxiety you're feeling, it's really good. Aside from the confusion that's being caused by your anxiety, it's really good. There aren't as many cups here as you think. And the ones that are here are fairly stable. See, there are some more cups over here, okay? But those are your own. What we don't want to do, okay, what we don't want to do is we don't want to take whatever's going on in our minds and apply it to people around us, especially without any proof. Let's say even if you think you have proof, hold back, because Gemini season can be really confusing for Sagittarians. It's a lot of like looking around with the bow and arrow going, where, here or there? No, just don't let it get to you. There will be little alarms going off here, there, everywhere. If you're already in an anxious state, let's do some damage control and work against that so you don't end up in the 7 of Cups energy towards the middle of the month. What we want to do is identify and admit that perhaps we are pretty stressed, overworked, too busy, and then when we feel that way, we start to make up things about the people around us, because if stuff is bad, then maybe everything is bad, okay? You guys aren't emo, but when you are, it's in this way, this all or nothing kind of thing. So if we can admit early on in the month that indeed behind the, I wouldn't say facade, because I genuinely think you guys are doing well. It's not that you're lying to everyone that you're not doing well, but there's this undercurrent here of anxiety and, you know, post-traumatic stress, let's be honest, the past few years. But now that things are going so well and you can feel very obviously that the world is opening up for you, it is important to identify this early, admit to it, and then let's work against it, or let's work with it, right? And the way you work with it is, first of all, you have to be really clear about your established relationships. So whether this is work or this is a partner, a friendship, it doesn't matter. Those important relationships in your life that you know are solid, acknowledge that at the beginning of the month, especially when you start to feel anxious and you start to overthink everything. Acknowledge that your most important relationships are very solid. And if they are not, Sag, you're going to get the clues that you need to move away from those people, but not in a sad way, not in an upsetting way, not in a conflict-ridden way, but you'll just naturally move away from those people because you're just too dope right now to deal with it. Like, this is your energy, fire, fire. You know, you got it. You got it. It's working. So, establishing early on within your own mind, no matter what your anxieties are telling you, that no, you do indeed have very stable relationships and that they are founded on something real. That will save you a lot of unnecessary confusion. And the thing about confusion is there's a lot of signs who are like, okay, Seven of Cups isn't that bad. It's just, you know, it's, yeah, I'm usually, like a Pisces would be like, okay, what's new, right? But for you guys, this is quite painful because your power is in articulating things and understanding things. And this is a card of someone who's really not able to articulate what's going on because they don't understand what's going on. They're seeing phantoms and monsters and victories and defeats and jewels and ghosts and, you know, decapitated, like, you know, just floating heads. Like, it is not someone who is understanding anything, actually. It is someone who is completely confused. And so for you guys, what you want to be really careful of now is your own mind. In June, there is nothing external that will fall apart on you. There's no indication here of anyone who will, you know, in some way betray you. It is very much a call to you to look inside because it is necessary now to balance out this heart and mind. And I think when someone gets to your heart, Sag, you start to pull back into the mind because that's scary. And I think when you start to get what you want, Sag, and your heart starts to swell and get happy, I think then you pull back into your mind as well because that's also scary. You know, so when good things happen to you, you have this like adverse sort of reaction to it, which is fine. It's because you're intelligent, you know, so you're skeptical. But when you do that, right, what you're doing is you're taking away from your own greatness and the things that really want to come to you. And so the Temperance card here saying, you know, there's only so much externally that can be given to you. I mean, you're being given the world, right? There's only so much that can be thrown at you. If you don't open your windows and let it in, it will just sit out here. And then, of course, it will start to look ghoulish because you're looking at it from the outside. You know, it doesn't make any sense to you. So the way out of that then is to follow the major arcana advice of, let's take a moment to balance out, okay, you really like these things that are happening, but that doesn't immediately mean that we move into a place of psychological fear because you're smart enough to consider how it could go wrong or what could happen. You know, we don't want to do that. And that's what the Three of Cups can be about when everything else on the table is positive, especially when you have the Three of Pentacles. So this isn't someone who's in a third party situation. This is someone who's driving themselves crazy because they think someone is in a third party situation and they're not. And so towards the end of the month, even if you feel like you have reason to like suspect someone, just realize that right now, you know, you're suspecting people for the wrong reasons. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. Except in your head. And you need to balance that out. Why? Because like we've been saying, with great power comes great responsibility. With great gifts come great responsibility. Are you starting to see the past few months of how we were talking about, you know, things cashing in for you? Are you starting to see that progress? Six of Wands is a card of victory, right? Three of Cups is a card of celebration. The World card is a card of abundance. Three of Pentacles is a card of mutual abundance. Well-oiled machine. That is you and your partner, you and your friends, you and your company, you and your career. Your relationship to money itself. Aha. You see? What is it? Who's getting in your way? Say it. Come on. Who is that? It's not me. That's you. This is your card for June. When you start to get into your head and start to spin, understand that it's because in some way you're cosmically bored. Things are going to go sideways a little bit right now. Listen, at the end of June, the sun just goes like this, like a crab, sideways. It's like, you know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Like this, there's nothing interesting going to be happening. And sometimes for Sagittarians, that's what makes it like for some people, it's hard for them to read for Sagittarians because they don't get how you guys are reactive. Like sometimes just having it be this kind of boring will agitate you, and your mind will start to work on stuff that's not even there because you want to be stimulated. Right. And then on the other end of that is Gemini season stimulating so much unnecessarily, where you're just like, this is nonsense. Like, I'm tired of the noise and the chatter. I'm tired of the confusion. I'm tired of the confusion it's causing within me. Like, I just, I really want to just move out of this season, bro. I want to move into what I know, right? Progress, feeling good, fiery, stable, victory, feeling like you've accomplished. And then you hit like a wall, you hit this energy. And some of you may then think that the best thing to do would be to overindulge because you feel like they're hitting this wall and like, I just don't feel right. This is not the answer, because all that's going to do is add more cups of confusion here. What you need to do, instead of going out there to be around people and kind of try to solve this, you need to go internally. And I haven't even looked at you guys' astrology for this month because I didn't want to. Because I got everything I needed to get from that full moon. Man, that was a really smart full moon. I mean, but you guys are really smart. Even when you are just doing the most mundane things, right? You could be taking like a walk with a Sagittarian and just like talking about nothing. And they'll say something that you're like, where'd you read that? It's like, no, I didn't read that. I was just thinking it. Oh, that you came up with that? Yeah. Just now. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I'm as a Gemini, I can keep up, but it's definitely keeping up. We'll say a lot of stuff, and maybe like one thing out of the 100 things that we say is like super profound. Like Sagittarian will say something like about like the dog, but it's profound in this way where you're like, did you come up with that? That's actually really good, dude. It's very good. It's again, like I like to reference him a lot, but it's the way Jay raps, like Jay-Z is so nice, it's so clean, just a lyrical genius. It's so even a kid can understand it, but it's so profound. It's so normal and ordinary and yet so profound. That's what I mean. You can be doing the most normal, ordinary thing with a Sag, and they'll just make it profound somehow. And you're like, yes, if you're an intellectual, you really, really love that. And having said that, you can see how that can also be your wounding, your worst enemy. Maybe it's not that profound this month, Sag. Maybe it's just about sticking to what you know and not trying to make more of it, even though it's your nature, because there's nothing to be made of it. You just let these good times roll to you. And if they're not good yet, take a serious look at yourself. Check yourself where you're being fearful. Check yourself where you're overthinking. Check yourself where you're being paranoid. What is that? Fear of success? Why y'all playing yourselves like that? What is that? What, just because things are going well and your notoriety is building, right? Any of you that are in, let's say, the limelight, or would like to become more well-known, famous, however you want to put it, more successful, center of the reading, 6 of Wands. There is a flower in this garden that smells like the best men's perfume, and it's just like throwing me off so much. Of course, Sagittarius. It's like a musk. Jeez. Astrology's funny. All right, we're looking for some outcome and some extended cards. But in the meantime, I would just like to reiterate how much I like this spread, because it's just calling you guys out. All you got to do is focus on the wins. And whenever you start to think about the losses, you need to come down here to this Temperance card. You need to bounce up here to this World card, and you need to recognize yourself as the youthful, beautiful energy of mutable fire that you are, and kick that consternation out of there. But it will require discipline, and that's fine. You guys can be disciplined if you know early. It's June 1st. Now you know. For the next, let's say 20 days, chill. In your mind. Everything else, work, do it. Yes. Things will come to fruition. New things will begin that you can work very hard on. Yes. More and more success. Yes, we love it. But that is a manifestation. That is material. That is fire. That is not getting lost in your mind with this airiness, this destructive air. And it is not getting lost in your feelings with this destructive water either. This is productive, focused, fire, with direction, with purpose. It's all the things you love, all the things that you are. That's where we want to focus. This month, you're going to have to remind yourself who you are. That's fine. You can do that. I love the way Hove does it. Allow me to reintroduce myself. What? Just like he's reminding himself who he is. Like, don't forget, not even me. What did Jennifer Lewis say in the Breakfast Club interview? She said out loud, not even me can stop me. Not even I can stop me. That's where I need you guys to be. Not even you can stop you. If you haven't watched that Jennifer Lewis interview on Breakfast Club, you really need to watch it. From the moment that woman started talking, I had tears in my eyes. I cried through the whole thing. And it was amazing. Like, if you haven't, as a Sagittarius, watching someone tell their truth like that, cool, chills. Chills. You see? What is it? What's bothering you so much? I assure you, none of it is actually happening. You can't be this bored. It's like you need the struggle of things to go bad so that you have something to try to figure out and solve. And now you're starting to get stuff and your puzzle solving mind doesn't know what to do. So you're making fake puzzles. You're making up puzzles. At least we're going down in swords. That's good. From the 9 to the 8. Fantastic. That's good. It's better than going the other way. But look here. How much of your stamina will you be able to hold on to this month when you really need it? When things start to go well, the one thing you need to keep control of is your stamina. You need to sleep and you need to eat. And don't let people near you too much. People you don't know. Don't let strangers touch you. I'm serious. Because like people have a weird energy when you have this kind of good luck going on. And they can tell that even though you have good things going on, that you're sad inside. You know, like that really pretty girl that doesn't know she's pretty, so all the douchebags take advantage of her. That's the type of energy I'm feeling for you guys this month. Don't let people near you who might hurt you right now. New people. I'm not trying to feed into your paranoia. I'm talking about new people. These old people that you already know. That's why I said established. Whatever is established, go with it. Trust it. Lean on it. It's okay. And you know what's not established. And that may be why you're in this 9 of Swords energy. Some of you are like, no, but I really don't know. If you really don't know where you stand with someone, then that's not a ride or die person for you. Stop playing. Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups. There's a lot of offers coming in. Many, many offers. Things that will really pull at your heartstrings too. Not just work as in making money, but things you will really love to do. Opportunities that you'll be like, whoa, really? Can I? Yes, I would love to. Reversals of fortune quickly. Money. We've been talking about money. Here we go. Leo season, the Strength card. You see? Prosperity, quickly, opportunity, light, life, love. Here is the fear. It's like a ping pong thing with Gemini season, right? You know you got it. You're like, okay, just give me, just if the target can move, stop moving for a second. If the target would just be still for a second, I will aim and I will shoot at this and I will do it. But like, I can't see the target. Either I have a blindfold over my eyes and that's why I can't see the target, or I'm covering my face with my own hands and that's why I can't see the target, or there's so many things in my way and smoke and distractions and illusions and fears that I can't see, or, and this may be the most poignant one, I'm just not looking. I'm in my own despair. I can't see anything in any direction because the blindfold's in my mind. You see, this blindfold is in her mind. That's why she's surrounded by the swords. It's a card of mental isolation. So is this. Emotional isolation here. What is this? Financial isolation, right? Outside of the established. No shoes, homeless, outside of the very rich, established place that they cannot go into. Outside of the norm of society, locked in your own mind. Outside of the norm of plenty and abundance, locked in your own fears about emotions and love and feelings, getting involved perhaps. Isolated, right? This is probably the most isolated, right? Because at least when you're dead, then you're connected to all the other dead people. Ten of Swords, this isn't even that. Like, this is the card of truly alone. There's this rapper that I follow. His name is Ali Saeed. He's so good. And he made a song called Sagittarius. I'll link it below. He talks about me in the song, which is super cool. But I've noticed in his work this ability to take what is painful and make it so relatable and make it so easy to say out loud. It's like you guys take the things that no one can articulate because it's too much. Like when Gemini does it, Gemini can articulate the same things, but when we do it, it's just too much. And you guys can take the same things, but you can make it so, you can connect it in a way that's so relatable that something heavy can get turned into a really catchy song. I find that so, I find that so incredible. And I think that this spread, and you guys in general, remind me of that study where they put someone's arm in a cold thing so it really hurts, and then they test how well they can taste stuff. And then they test it against people who didn't go through pain, right? So one group is put through extreme pain and the other group isn't. And then they test which group is more sensitive to flavor. And what they've figured out is that pain makes your sense of taste much more acute. So you can taste really small amounts of a flavoring of something after you've been subjected to this sort of, physical pain. And I feel like this is what happens with you guys, is it's the sour and the sweet. It's like the guy in Vanilla Sky who's like, yeah, everything's easy for you, but you're never going to know the exquisite, the exquisite love that you can feel for the sweet because you've known the sour, right? This is the sour. And when it doesn't exist in the external, I think it would be smart to admit now that when it doesn't exist in the external, we make it, Sagittarius, because you need that counterpoint, right? So you can really taste the sweet. And there is much sweet to be tasted, really. I would tell you. There is much, much, much sweet to be tasted all through Leo season. For the rest of the summer, it's on, Sagittarius, it's on. Just like we said it would be, it's on. We got all these new opportunities. If you aren't established in something with someone, a water sign may show up out of nowhere and just be like, yo, what's good? The water signs are out here. They're, they're looking. And if you're already with a water sign, that person is like definitely thinking about you in a serious, serious way. This Leo coming in strong, Leo energy coming in strong for you, manifesting what you want from your heart. See why you need to stay out of your mind right now? Because your heart is strong, your heart is on fire. And we need that. We want that speed. We want that accuracy. We want you to have all the arrows you need to hit all the marks. But when those marks start to just go sideways because it's Cancer season, you start to get bored. And you're already fatigued from Gemini season where the target was moving around too much. It's like, come on. That's when you gotta remember your friend here. Remember what you need to do. Don't get too much in your head. That's all. You got so much heart. We just need to keep you out of your mind sometimes. Not all the time. We need your mind. But sometimes. Just enough to make you human. You know. You know. Oh, I know. It's very charming not to be human. But you need to be human sometimes. Even if it's for a little while. And that's not humanity, okay? That's not complexity. And although we understand now that you need this counterbalance of the sour to taste the sweet, we get it. Don't take it too seriously now that you understand what you're doing. Let's pull some extended. What a nice reading. It's beautiful to look at. I don't know, I've really been vibing with you guys lately. I haven't talked to any of my Sagittarian friends, so that's definitely not it. Your just energy's been so dope lately. You guys have been through a lot. You're handling it very well. And I can see the collective rise of you guys as a sign. And I'm so proud, You don't brag about it. You're not obnoxious about it. You're just so chill. I really like that. Meanwhile, you got people out here acting like I don't know what. And there's just nothing to back it up. And you're like, ugh. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. And if you're feeling, like you are out of your depths, especially as a Sag rising, if you're feeling like you're out of your depths and that there needs to be a new direction in your life, you're right. Because the old direction is fraught with pain. You will overcome now if you work in the right direction. Choose carefully. Taking on old enemies is not, hi! Taking on old enemies is not the move. Like for real, don't. It's gonna work against you. It's not smart. And then we've got the extended here. Queen of Swords, the Emperor. Yeah, don't do it, Sag. If you've got some sort of like running or standing feud, especially in the rising signs, and they've got significant placements here with Mars and Aquarius and the air sign, no. Moving forward in a new direction. And especially if what's keeping you hurt is the old direction. If what we're really talking about here is you trying to hold on to something that you're trying to make work when the world is trying to offer you so much more, I'd say take what the world is offering you. But we'll look at these 6 over here, and then what we've been doing is after we clarify, we take the minor away, keep the major, and then clarify those. And it's interesting to see just the major arcana out. Let's see, bottom of the deck here, 6 of Cups, 3 of Swords, the Star, 6 of Swords. Okay, so Aquarian, again, this Aquarius and Mars energy, this is not the time to challenge. because it can easily turn into pain. We'll look at that. But for now, let's take the general message here of experiencing the sour, but not enough that you don't even want to taste the sweet. Understanding and picking your battles, and choosing to fight the battles that you know you can win. Where you hold on, karma will catch you. It's about being very mutable, very fluid this month. That's also what this is about. Really think it through. How much are you doing out of fear and out of paranoia, and how much out of stubbornness and some sort of principle, and how much is for your greater happiness? Okay. That's it, Sag. I'm going to do the extended right now. There'll be a link to it below. You can find it on my website or on Shopify. And soon the links will start going up for the tour dates in August. There will be an email below that's venue@ambercon.com that you can reach out to me if you have a venue for any of the places that I'll list that I'll be. And then according to that, we can determine locations. Tickets will go on sale next week. Inshallah, we'll see. All right, so we'll get into clarifying two at a time, and then we'll take all the minor away and do the major. And we'll look at the bottom of the deck here. All right, I love you guys. I will see you in the extended, and I'll see you in July.